This is Voice in the Street, an open conversation between God and man.
What you talking about?
There's another voice.
I think people want to know who's gonna make up our team
In the streets.
Who is on first? Well, what are you asking me for? I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Who is on first?
It's me, Rahsaan The Godchild, with Voice in the Streets. I was asked the question, what's my testimony? Basically, my testimony is simple. Grew up in the hood, east side of Detroit. For those of you who are in Detroit, Harper and Connor was my stomping grounds. It's very, very hood. Now, I wasn't shot or stabbed, never been shot or stabbed or locked up or nothing like that. I can't try to make up a prison record or a drug dealing habit or anything like that. I didn't get mixed up in the gangs. I had friends that were drug dealers and gangbangers, but God kept me. That's simple as that. I grew up with Christian parents, both parents, husband and wife, married. The best thing they could have ever done was introduce me to Christ at a young age. I had moments where you were ashamed of your faith and things like that. Trying to sag the pants, sampling drinks and things like that, and smoking and things. But I was never hooked on it, never addicted. It was never even my forte. Oh yeah, this one cat. We went to church together, and I'll never forget. The guys would always, people would ask me, man, they brag about, supposedly having sex. This was in middle school. They could have been doing it, but I highly doubt that any of those guys were sexually active at the time. And they were talking about, man, I hate this girl like yada yada yada, and then they'd ask me, and I'm like, oh yeah, man, yeah, I was getting mine, and all this stuff, front for the fellas, because I didn't want them to know that I was a virgin or whatnot. Then they asked another guy that I went to church with, and I just listened to see what he was gonna say, and to my surprise, he told them, I'm a virgin, I haven't had sex. This was like in 6th or 7th grade, and I was like, that convicted me quite a bit, because I was like, man, this cat, he just came right out. He didn't care what they thought. Yeah, they might laugh at him, but he didn't even care. He told them, straight up, this is his belief, his faith. This is his faith. So that left a big impression on me. He was straight, he was real with it. So a friend of mine, we rode together back in the day, and as soon as we got into high school, he died. He wasn't shot or anything like that. He just had a football accident, where he stopped breathing on the field. So at the funeral, one thing I heard them talk a lot about is his faith. Saying, oh, he's going to be up in heaven and things like that. I had the question on my mind, like, man, I lived around this guy in school. I saw the way he lived, and from what I saw, I didn't see that he was a believer or anything like that, or he had any kind of faith. He cussed as much as the next man, but it made me look at myself, and I was like, man, what kind of impression am I leaving on people? Claiming to be a Christian, and it had a real heavy impact on me, and that was my turning point, where it's like, even though I was brought up in the church and things like that, you always have a moment where it's like, man, this is real to me, So that was my moment. I realized that people respect not necessarily how you behave, but the fact that you're real. So whatever it is you do, as long as you're real with it, people, they have a level of respect for it. They may joke about it, they may make fun of you, but they respect you. Simply because of the fact that you're standing up for what you believe, you're real about it, you're not trying to be somebody else. There's no evidence of leverage stacked against me, grinding to mince me. offense, nailed it to history, and now it's history. And you're my everything. You ain't gotta buy that sackcloth and ashes.